Well, boys and girls, Grand Arena 3v3 is upon us once again in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And it seemed crazy to me, but it's been 9 months. 9 months since I published a video about non-Kyber teams in 3v3 Grand Arena, because if you are anything like me, you're carrying one or more or even more accounts that are not in Kyber Grand Arena. So all the talk about the best teams in Grand Arena at the very top of Kyber maybe isn't helping you so much. So we're going to take a look at the other ranks of Grand Arena: Carbonite, Bronzium, Chromium, and Aurodium, to talk about all the best teams that are working on that in those levels of Grand Arena 3v3 in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Well, greetings and hello there, boys and girls. It is I, your beloved Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good, and as I mentioned, we are here to take a look at all the best. Ooh, I kind of lost my voice here. I don't know where it kind of just dropped out. Anyway, we're going to look at all of the best teams for 3v3 Grand Arena for every tier of Grand Arena except for Kyber. You can see right over there, we are starting with Carbonite. And by the way, the resource I'm using here is swgh.gg. Check it out. Go to the insights. I think I'm paying $10 a month for Insight. Somebody else said they're paying $2 a month. I'm not sure. For me, it's well worth it. You guys have joined me for Grand Arena streams. You see what happens on Grand Arena streams. We research this all the time to find counters and everything else. But if you're not going to invest in swgh.gg Insights, this is your tool. And something also, I kind of just want to give you guys, this is a good way to provide a barometer for you and me for our early game and mid game accounts to see what needs to be on our roster. What teams do we have to be successful and to climb up through Carbonite, Bronzium, Chromium, Aurodium, and eventually into Kyber? What do the teams need to have on our roster? So let's take a look at those teams we do have in Carbonite. What's going to be interesting here is that keep an eye on that win percentage. I think what you'll see as time goes on, that win percentage slowly climbs as people playing on offense get more tools to deal with what's on defense. But here in 3v3, right at the very top, we're starting off with our two classics, Wampa versus the Geos. That accounts for 2,000 of the 2.43 million battles. Holy crap. Anyway, Wampa and Geos are two of our most common teams down here in Carbonite. Wampa is such an effective tool, not only against Geos, but against many other teams. Grievous, and we don't get a lot of Grievous these days, but Wampa is so good in lower and even to mid-game levels of Grand Arena, and I still get to use her even in Kyber every now and then. So we love Wampa. And Geos, you're going to see them relentlessly appear over there on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to be there constantly. If you go down a little bit, we're looking at Palp and Mara and Darth Vader, going to be a pretty common team early on, as people unlock Darth Vader on day 3 now. I got Darth Vader 7 stars on day 3 of this game, free to play. It was really pretty incredible. And then Palpatine over there, you're unlocking him with the Rebels and farming Mara Jade, using those effectively against those Geos. The third team down, that was interesting to me. I don't think we saw a lot of Darth Revan last time I pulled this around, but now it's like the third most popular offensive team against Jedi Knight Revan on defense. Honestly, you guys, I feel like at this level at Carbonite, if you don't have a Galactic Legend, which it looks like, you know, we complain about Galactic Legends down here. It looks like most people that are playing and competing do not have Galactic Legends on their squad. But if you've got Darth Revan, I like Darth Revan with Darth Malak on defense. Again, you know, make them work for it. You know what I'm saying? Make them work for it. But he's slaughtering Jedi Knight Revan over here. But you're seeing both the Revans pop up. And I think that's because the bundles came out earlier this year. We are seeing a lot more Revan action down at the Carbonite levels. Hey, there's CLS, Han and Chewie. This is going to be pre the full CLS team. You don't have a lot of full CLS teams at this point of the game, so instead of CLS with 2PO and 3PO, which is the team that you'll see later in the game for 3v3s, right now, CLS, Han, and Chewie are doing a really good job countering those Geos, and that's a team you're going to see pretty often down here in Carbonite Grand Arena. We continue on with Jedi Knight Revan and CLS and Wampa and Geos and Darth Revan and Palpatine and Vader. Obviously, guys, those are our top 5. Is that 5? Let's see here. Wampa, Geos, Palpatine, Revan, and CLS. That's the top 6 teams. When you look at this, the top of the board is absorbed by those, and then all of a sudden Traya comes in. Now, I bet this is Traya with Omicrons. I gotta tell you, boys and girls, I realize that Traya is like the classic Geo counter. But I'm going to tell you something. In Grand Arena now with her Omicron, and in 3v3 Grand Arena, if you get Savaggio Press in there, you could do a lot more than kill some Geos with her. A lot more. So I would recommend, I like these other teams to kill Geos. I like Palpatine Invader, even CLS, or even Geo Mirrors or Wampa. Those are better in 3v3. Save that Traya team with an Omicron for something bigger, because she will kill it. Or she'll go on defense and get you a lot of holds on defense too. I love that Traya Omicron team down in Carbonite Grand Arena. It's going to do some work for you. And that's our top 7 teams. I gotta tell you, we finally get to some bounty hunters down here as we go lower. There we come upon a SLKR. I'm gonna say the same thing for SLKR that I said for Darth Revan early on, and a little bit for Traya. If you got an SLKR, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, or if you have a Galactic Legend really of any kind, and you're in Carbonite, put them on defense. You're gonna get holds down there with you're gonna run up against teams. If your opponent has a Galactic Legend, it's highly likely they're not gonna be playing. And if you have a Galactic Legend, you're gonna scare them off, and they're not gonna have it. I want to see that team on defense, my friends. Although, when I look at that, that's either from a bundle or from a Kylo Ren Rush account, which would mean you don't have a lot of other stuff. I don't know, but you can see, man, these teams. Revans, Palpatine Vader, there's a crappy Phoenix team, Wampa, Geo, CLS, Traya, a little SLKR action, and then we're getting into the Bounty Hunters here, did I say that? And, you know, these teams, Phoenix, these are dominating the Carbonite, the holo tables at Carbonite. Really good to know. And, you know, I'm learning something myself here with the top teams that are being used out here in Carbonite Grand Arena. Be careful with this counter. Vader solo against the Geos. It seems fun. If you got Merciless Massacre, it can work, but what we're going to see is a lot of times these are going to be under-geared Geos. If it's a full Relic Geo team, you got to be careful, because if Vader doesn't go first, bad things can happen. And even if he does go first, bad things can happen with a solo Vader with nobody there to support him. Hey, let's jump in and oh, there's Padme showing up down here too. So there's your top 10 teams. We see what they are. They're pretty well laid out. Let's jump into Chromium and see what's going on over there. I, of course, meant Bronzium, not Chromium. So this is your Bronzium matchups in Grand Arena. Let's take a look at these bad boys and see what's going on. I told you to pay attention to... If you got this far in the video, and this is sloppy, I know, but this is what I got. So if you got this far in the video, type pay attention into the comments, because that's what I just said. I said pay attention. I need to wash something down here, a little bit of tea. World-class entertainment there, boys and girls. Okay. Revans at the top. This is Chromium now. Our win percentage went up about 6%. Revans at the top. You're seeing a lot of the same teams, though. Revans, Traya, Geo, Wampa, Palpatine with Vader, and then all of a sudden, people got Jabba, people got Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, people got Galactic Legends. If you don't have a Galactic Legend in Chromium, let me tell you as an experienced player, because every Carbonite, Bronzium, I don't know why I keep saying Bronzium. If you don't have a Galactic Legend in Bronzium, you are gonna get crushed, and that's what I'm finding in Bronzium. I've climbed up to Bronzium maybe 3 times on my Nooch Vader account, and every time within a round or two, I'm back down in Carbonite. I just can't stay up there because everybody's got Galactic Legends, 1, 2, 4 of them, and you just can't compete. But you're starting to see these guys filtering here. Jabba and Kylo being the most popular first 2 Galactic Legends. No surprise there. You guys know I'm a huge honk for Jabba for his return on investment, and Kylo is, I think overall, as far as ease of access, with Lightspeed bundles and even with his farming path, ease of access and performance, I think Kylo is the absolute winner in this game. Everybody else takes a lot more effort and proving grounds characters and all, but it's Kylo early on, man. Kylo early on. We still got our CLS and Bounty Hunters, a little more Padme action popping up here in Bronzium. I can't get it. We got some Revans. It's very similar, but you're starting to see gas creep in there. Galactic Legends are creeping in. A little bit of Grievous action. I don't know why anybody would put this in the front line. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you were thinking about putting Grievous on your frontline Grand Arena defense or anywhere in the Grand Arena defense, go and check if your opponent has a Wampa. Same thing if you have Iden Versio, Grievous, Mon Mothma. You want to put those teams in the front row? check and see if they got a Wampa. And if they got it, be careful. You got better plan that out because that's just a slaughter fest. Bounty Hunter is showing up there too. What else? We got anything? That gas team is definitely a new ad there. And there's the Grievous. We are seeing more Grievous. I think these Grievous teams are popping up because of the gas bundle where we got these Separatist droids and people might be farming the Malevolence and getting, you know, getting Grievous in there for the Malevolence. I think that's the source of those Grievous teams. Otherwise, I don't know if you see a lot of Grievous teams. That's kind of an old school team anymore. The Grievous droids, they really don't. I guess you can use them in TW because you do get the DD Kron, which is his Omicron, which is a really good Omicron. So you will see him in territory, whereas Grand Arena, they're just not a great Grand Arena team these days. And it's been a long time. Actually, ever since Wampa came out, they pretty much have just not been a very good Grand Arena team. And before that, they were already suffering before that. That just kind of put the nail in the coffin. More Galactic Legends, Jedi Master Luke coming on strong there. You know, not surprising that he would be a priority here because you get Jedi Knight Luke for Jabba the Hutt. Jedi Master Luke's going to be right behind that, not too far. We talk about that a lot on the channel. Bounty Hunters, the little Mon Mothma action creeping in there with that Jedi Master Luke farm, of course. Yeah, so some of the new teams we're seeing here, 3v3 Tuscans just showed up. We're seeing some Galactic Legends like Jedi Master Luke, Kylo, Jabba the Hutt, and Rey is showing up now down here. There's even Jedi Master Kenobi showing up as well. So some Galactic Legends being sprinkled in. You're going to start facing them up there. Gas is a new team as well. Yeah, so that's what you're looking at in Bronzium Grand Arena. Now let's take a look at that Chromium and see what's going on there, boys and girls. Let's flip over to our other screen. Again, I know this is sloppy, sorry. Little technical difficulty for me there here in Chromium. I want to note again the win percentage. 73.89 in Chromium, 71.69 in Bronzium, and 65.93 down in Carbonite. You'll see those win percentages are creeping up because people are getting more and more counters, and also I think gaining more confidence in the game and how those counters work. So let's take a look at Chromium here. Now we are seeing the advent of the Galactic Legend. Kylo, Jabba, Jedi Master Kenobi, Rey is popping in there. These are the most popular teams used, and really it's not all that close. Jedi Master Luke down here, he's not a great defensive team. Sith Eternal is showing up, so Leia Organa is showing up here in Chromium. Once you get to Chromium, and this is why I wanted to take a look at this to kind of give you guys a gauge for what your roster is going to start looking like when you hit these rounds of Grand Arena. Think about that. With all these Galactic Legends popping in here as the primary counters, and really, I'm going to say 70% of the top, the top several counters here are Galactic Legends. You're gonna when you're in Carbonite, you're not gonna have a Galactic Legend, generally speaking. If you once you get that Galactic Legend, one or two, you climb up into Bronzium. Bronzium is I don't know, guys. It's hard. It's C B C A K. I try to get that and I just miss it. Chromium is where people are gonna have 3, 4, 5 Galactic Legends. You're just gonna start seeing Galactic Legends. I'm of the belief when you get to like 5 Galactic Legends, and I did this, you can start climbing into Kyber. But a lot of people don't have the mods available, have not been farming Datacrons. So these Galactic Legends are really creeping in there when you get up to Chromium Grand Arena. It's in my mind every time. There's Starkiller popping in to take out Rey. 45% with Ben Solo. You guys should be doing better than that. Although 3v3, it is a little different story with Rey, but I would expect to see this kind of, it's going to be more like 5 to 10% if we get Ezra Exile in there. But yeah, 3v3, this is more difficult than 5v5 for sure, but I tend to get that one done. Again, this Traya versus Geo's team, I just think that's a waste. I don't think... Your Traya team can kill so much more stuff. Put Vader out there with a couple other Empires. Put Tarkin in the lead. That gives Vader some more speed. Just get Vader out in front and do it that way. Use Traya to kill big stuff. You know what I mean? Although I can also see a situation where you get to the back wall, there's Geos. Maybe. They usually end up on the front wall, right? More Galactic Legends. More Wampa against Grievous. More Wampa against Mon Mothma. What did I tell you? If you're wanting to field Grievous, Mon Mothma, or Iden Versio in 3v3 for defense, make sure you check couldn't hear the music there for a second. Make sure that you check your opponent's roster. If they've got Wampa, you better think twice about it. It's just not going to be a good result for you. Maybe hide him in back. Maybe you put Mon Mothma in front, make him use that, and Grievous is sitting behind. But even then, so many teams kill Grievous and Mon Mothma. These just aren't very good defensive teams. And they're being used way too much here. Way too much. Usage of these guys here in Chromium. We got Leia coming in. Traya killing Geos again. I hate seeing that. I hate seeing that. Where are all the Savage Traya teams? Why aren't people using... I mean, seriously. People should be using Savage on that team and just punching up. I don't know. Anyway, there's CLS. So a lot of similarity here with the others. The big thing we are seeing here in Chromium Grand Arena is... not even a trickle in, we were trickling in Galactic Legends down there in Bronzium. When we hit Chromium, it's all about Galactic Legends, and you're gonna have to have multiple Galactic Legends on your roster to have success and get yourself into Chromium. There's that 3v3 Tusken team that we hate so much coming into play. Gas is still coming in. Bounty Hunters. We're seeing a lot of similar teams here outside of those Galactic Legends. I'm looking for maybe, do we have any of like the... like Ufu's coming? I don't think we're gonna get it. There's a Zori Bliss team. That's the first time we've kind of really seen that. So yeah, the big news here in Chromium, Galactic Legends followed by more Galactic Legends, and then behind that are Galactic Legends, and there's Iden again getting stomped by Wampa. That's just why give him a free extra banner? It's a 59 banner win 69 if you get your 10 points for the first battle. So I just don't like that move in Chromium or anywhere else in the game. And for our last little journey here, let's take a look at Aurodium. We'll leave Kyber to the big boys to talk about. I think we all know the teams that are in Kyber. It's pretty much going to be everything. When you hit Kyber 2, it's everything. Everything. Trust me, I know. When you hit Kyber 2, your opponents have everything and you don't, and you're just constantly pushing, you're just raging against the machine. But let's take a look at these Aurodium teams right now here in Grand Arena. And as you take a look at that Aurodium win percentage, again, it went up by, well, 1.2. 1.2, actually exactly 1.2%. So the win percentage continues to climb each level of Grand Arena. We'll check Kyber here in a second, see what that looks like just for fun. This is, if you're at Aurodium, boys and girls, there's nothing being used except Galactic Legends and Wampa killing Grievous. It's all this, hey, there's a Dr. Aphra taking on Jabba. That's a nice little, that's our first kind of like off meta team. Aphra sneaking in here. We haven't seen any Ufus. We haven't seen any Inquisitors. We're finally starting to see teams like Aphra come in here in Aurodium. I'm scrolling down looking for anything other than Galactic Legends and Starkiller. Again, God, I can't emphasize enough. This is not a good move. That is not a successful move. This is a successful move. This is a bad move. Hey, Darth Malgus starting to creep up. Hey, Darth Malgus starting to creep up on Aurodium Grand Arena, everybody, boys and girls. Listen to my DJ voice there. Hey, we got Queen Amidala showing up. And Bane. Hey, there's Bane. There's been a Bane sighting, everybody. We are starting to see some of these end game teams trickle into Aurodium Grand Arena as people make decisions of what they're going to be farming. You know, Queen Amidala was a year ago in Conquest, and we had the Poncho Bros a year ago. Now they're double shard farmable. A lot of people now have these guys on their roster and all the way up in the relic levels. Heck, I've been honking on that for a good 6 to 9 months that everybody should be farming those guys. So we are seeing the teams that we love for the higher levels of Grand Arena show. There's some Gungans showing up. So when you get to Aurodium, I think all bets are off. Now you're still not seeing some of those end game teams like Bo-Katan, Mandalore, the Seer Junda unaligned force users. What else are we not seeing? We're not seeing a lot of Lord Vader. Actually, I don't think we've seen any Lord Vader at the top of these lists yet, have we? We are not. I think that's going to change. I think we're going to see a lot more Lord Vader next time we take a look at this, whatever it is, 6 months down the road or whatever, because all you guys have been farming Lord Vader now. You guys are all on it. With all those dark side clones, I've seen so many players kind of switching gears and saying, I want Lord Vader. I want Lord Vader early now instead of waiting till the end game. To me, he's still an end game Galactic Legend, but you guys love those clones. We'll see how they function as time goes on. But yeah, no Lord Vader. There's some Ezra Exiles showing up. There it is. That's what I was saying. Starkiller against Ezra Exile Ray, 17%. I said 5 to 10%. It's a little higher than that, but not much. Some Sidious showing up with that Sidious Kron killing Starkiller. Yeah, not a lot of Lord Vader, not a lot of Ahsoka. We finally got to some Bo-Katan Mandalore action down here. Yeah, it's Lord Vader and Ahsoka that are kind of left out in the cold here as Galactic Legends. There's our first one down here, 1700 battles. That's really interesting. It's really interesting. But when you are in Aurodium, there's some Inquisitors coming in. No Reva yet. We haven't seen Reva pop up on any of these boards. Well, there she is. Speak of the devil. So speak of the screaming, angry lady. There's Ahsoka popping up too. So we've got it all covered here. When you are in Aurodium, all bets are off. Now, does that mean you'll see rosters with every single team on, or every single Galactic Legend? Yeah, you're going to see those. You're going to see those out in Aurodium. But it's more likely you'll see some mishmash of 4, 5, or 6 Galactic Legends along with the rest of the roster that you got to put together. Every match is going to be a little bit different. When you get up into Kyber 3, Kyber 2, the matches become a lot more homogenous where it's the same teams over and over again. It's just how people structure them, what their mods look like, and what their datacrons look like. So there you go. That's all of our rounds of Grand Arena. I want to take a look here, though. Let's pull up some Kyber, and I just want to see that win percentage in Kyber to see if it continues to go up. Here's our Kyber Grand Arena. Let's take a look at that win percentage. And yes, indeed, it went up again. We went up about 3% at that time. Actually, almost 3.66% right there. So a big climb. You can see all throughout these rounds of Grand Arena, the win percentage just climbs and climbs and climbs and climbs. And I find that fascinating to really kind of take a look and discover and talk about here. I kind of blocked it off here. Sorry about that. But guys, that's it. These are the teams for your non-Kyber levels of Grand Arena. This was fascinating. I was going to downgrade to interesting, but I actually think it is kind of fascinating to see what kind of teams you can look towards facing out there at these different levels of Grand Arena, and kind of gives you an idea of where maybe your roster should be in Grand Arena. I mean, if you got 3 or 4 Galactic Legends, you should be in Chromium and out there duking it out with these guys that are fielding all these Galactic Legends. So there you go, boys and girls. Grand Arena is upon us. What teams are you going to field out there? I hope you have a great day. Let me know about your Grand Arena roster. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good.